Okay, here we go. So thank you very much then for tuning in, everyone, this evening again. Here we are for the second exciting instalment. So I apologise in advance if my internet is letting me down once more. I am working on it. I've spent another couple of hours trying to sort it out in between jobs today. Sadly, I've made very little progress speaking to call centres and such. I'm sure you've all got your own stories of them in that regard, but hopefully you can hear me loud and clear. You can hear me, can you, Steph? Yeah?
Yep, can hear you.
Okay, perfect. Well, that's all. We're going to have to suffice with that. So I am going to invite Steph more formally onto the call in just a few moments' time. I just had a few words just to say that we've had another great number of promotions have come through since we last spoke 24 hours ago. It's been really very exciting. There's certainly a race and a lot of healthy competition occurring right throughout the Platinum Exec Group and further afield too. I have to say, who's going to take the top marks, who it is that's going to come in that all-important or significant top 10 and 20 spots. Most significantly, of course, let's not forget about the ISA Rally for Las Vegas in August. So I'm sure you've all seen the details. It's been shared widely amongst the groups. It's right there on your back office too. If you go into competitions and what's the other word? Can't remember. Competitions and something else anyway. Incentives, promotions, stuff like that. As you log in. So that is wide open to everyone. And I know that's a very commonly used phrase here in the world of network marketing. However, no more so has it been true right here with Isogenics, given that it's not based on rank, it's not based on status, it's not based on the volume, the size, the scale of the business, the number of leaders that you have, as well as obviously being a leader yourself. It's truly based on progress made. And not only that, the criteria are specific here to the UK, so we're not competing against America, Canada, or any of the other open countries right there across the world. We are indeed just here in it for ourselves or helping each other out merrily along the way. And so those top 20 spots are still wide open. So having travelled significantly over the last several weeks and indeed months, Raven and I have been fortunate enough to meet with many of the leaders, both as part of our structure and part of the wider network. And I can really assure you that I can't really see, just a personal opinion of course, but I can't really see much more than 12 or 15 of those spots being taken by really a serious contenders. So in which case that gives somewhere between 5 and 8 spots that are still wide open to people that are just getting started, bearing in mind that of all the millionaires and six-figure earners, of which there are hundreds within the Isogenics opportunity, more than 75% of those had no previous network marketing experience prior to getting started with the Isogenics opportunity. So truly a level playing field for everyone to take part in and to get those just and rich rewards for the efforts and all the hard work that's being put in. So a very exciting time to say the least. So that's just sort of the housekeeping for now. As I mentioned, just as I came onto the call, I will be opening up the session, opening everyone's volume. Hopefully there'll be no swearing like there was last night. And shouting and screaming, anything like that. But it's a trial and error process, so I'll open it up nonetheless. It's really important, obviously, that you will get your questions answered. If there's a burning issue, something that you feel is holding you up or not enabling you to progress just as speedily as you might like, then of course that's exactly what these calls are for, is not only to provide you with that information from the people that have been there, they've done it, to sort of got the t-shirt in their own way before, but also to make sure that that information is coming back up in terms of getting the questions answered, overcoming any obstacles. It may be something simple, something quite complex. Of course, if you have a personal issue that you'd rather not discuss either in the chat forum or on the video here, then you're very welcome to reach out to any of us to ask that question. Of course, everything will be treated in the greatest of confidence, and we'll try and aim for a remedy just as soon as we possibly can. So that's not to say that we have all of the answers all of the time. We certainly have a good few of the answers a good few of the time, but should we not have that answer, then of course we have that direct contact with the corporate UK and indeed US office too. And not only that, with very experienced leaders in the field, both here in the UK and further afield as well. So rest assured, whatever your question or query might be, then we can certainly get an answer for you straight away. So on that note then, I'd just like to cover a basic topic if I can. It's one that we've spoke about many times in the past for those of us that have worked together before. And very briefly, I mentioned about the excitement and the contagious atmosphere that's out there and how that's going to carry us all through to the next sphere, to the next step, to achieve our first goals, and how that is really the key, as far as certainly I'm concerned, is really the key on getting your business off to the very greatest start. However, it can be quite confusing to know where to start. It may be that you don't consider yourself to have a wide circle of friends or family, or maybe you're a little bit isolated in that regard. Maybe you mainly concentrate on an online social life, and that's certainly something that Steph will be covering more than adequately in just a few minutes' time, just as soon as I stop talking. If that's ever. So it may be that you have too many and you don't know who to speak to first. It could be any number of things. So really the thing that I found to be of the greatest benefit is to get it down on paper. There's a saying, after all, in the industry and in the world, which is the bluntest pencil is sharper still than the sharpest mind. So by getting that information down on paper, by making a clear and concise or maybe even exhaustive list of all the people that you might talk to, then it can really help you to start prioritize who you might wish to talk to first. And the really wonderful thing about this opportunity is not who we can persuade, not who we can chase down the street, harassing them to try these products and trying to stick a shake in the hand or an e-shot down the throat, whatever it might be. There's certainly no need for any of that, and won't be for many, 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 many years to come indeed, being right at the beginning of this journey as we are. So really what it is about is who can we help the most? Who is it that, for example, should we find a £20 note laying upon the ground? Let's say we're putting a little bit of fuel in the car or out of a local supermarket, whatever it might be, and we find that £20 note, of course, being the trustworthy, honest and reputable people that we are. Of course, we'd hand it over or attempt to hand it over to the nearest person. Let's just assume that no owner is found. Well, you want it to go to a good home, but again, being the trustworthy and honest people that you are, you wouldn't want to put it in your pocket and spend it on yourself. So given that, who is it that you would pass that £20 note to? Who is it that you want to pass that gift to enable them to purchase maybe a little more food, to treat themselves to a night out, a new top, or whatever it might be, whatever it is that they might choose to spend that on. There's no criteria, just as long as they feel better for it. And then the amazing thing is, of course, with this magical £20 note that we find there laying upon the ground, is that once we've actually given it to that first person, we reach into our pocket, having come across the second person that came to mind, and magically it's reappeared, of course, and is there in our pocket again. A very exciting thing indeed. So who would we then give that £20 note to, given a second chance? Who would we then give it to at that point? And then again, third and fourth and fifth, it's a magical £20 note. And no matter how hard we try and how many people we give it to, how quickly, how slowly, how many at a time, then we've always got an additional £20 note. And that's really what we're handing to people at this stage. So wouldn't it be lovely, of course, if we could print them off on our bubble jet at home and hand them out and they'd be valid currency? Sadly, that's not the case. But it's the next best thing, because by passing people the benefit of these products, by enabling them to feel great, to feel an enhanced sense within themselves, to maybe drop some pounds, increase some pounds, to have more energy, more stamina, or maybe even just less fragility in older life, to mention just a few of the benefits of this superfood nutrition that we're all obviously actively promoting. It's to hand someone a gift, the opportunity to do that, especially because it's at no additional cost in many, many instances. So one of the things that I've quite enjoyed doing over the last several weeks is that when I'm talking to new potential customers or associates, is to ask them very briefly what it is that they spend on food ahead of any questions or talking about the products, the opportunity, etc. And in doing so, can get an idea of what they might spend. Now, typically, a person would spend £4 or £5 a day on lunch and breakfast. They might have extra snacks, Starbucks. They might have treats at the cinema. I certainly know I don't go to the cinema without a hot dog and some nachos. It may be that they have a takeaway on a Friday night. So once you add all that up together, then of course the equivalent sum is not more than what we would instead be spending on the Isogenics product. So it's a no-cost proposition in many, many instances. So we've now got this gift, which in effect is going to cost them nothing, is going to make them feel great. And with that in mind, surely there must be a great number of people that we can go out and provide not only the product, but also the wealth creation opportunity that goes alongside it, of course, and really enhance and further encourage people to come along and join in one of the meetings, one of the online training sessions, to join in with one of the many groups that are operating now amongst all the leaders, and to check out exactly what it is we have to offer so that they can make an informed decision. Remember, we're not chasing people down the street with shaker in hand and a hydrate in the other. You know, we're just making that offer. We're just enticing them with a little bit of information, just enough to gather their interest, and then passing them on to the person who's already prepared these wonderful groups, whomever that may be. You may even be part of several, perhaps. And then the information is provided for them to make an informed choice from there. And should they choose to say yes, well, that's fantastic. And of course, we'll continue to support and encourage them and help them achieve their health and wealth goals. Should they choose to say no, well, let's just bear in mind, well, first and foremost, they're obviously a bit foolish, but putting that to one side, then just because they say no, it doesn't actually mean that they're saying no, not ever. It very simply means they are saying, no, not now. So many, many people, I'm sure Steph will testify to exactly this, being an experienced networker as she is, many, many people will say no, and 6, 8, 10, 12 weeks or even months later, their circumstances will change. They'll have a change of address, a change of relationship status, a change of job status. They may have been in fine fettle physically and mentally and emotionally before, and perhaps something's taken a turn for the worse. Well, that's very sad, but we can still help them. So it's not about never closing a door, always leaving that door open to all potential people, because at some point or another, many of them, and a really good percentage, will eventually come back and say yes when the time is right for them. But the important thing, of course, is to speak to each and every one of them in the first instance so they know that you're the guy or girl to go to should they wish to consider these products, this amazing nutrition, the achievement of their health goals and the wealth goals too, to put that there in the first place, but also so that when the time is right for them, then they know where to come to, where the information is, and can get started with you. And the reason that I say that, and the thing that always sticks in my mind, is that in my previous pre-launch opportunity, which as many of you know, I ran alongside my beautiful and wonderful mother, Nadie, we actually approached another very beautiful and lovely lady by the name of Kirsty. And sadly, we actually crossed paths due to a missed timing, which really should not have been the end of it. But because we were all such busy people and doing what we were doing, we never got quite a chance again to follow up. And the very next time we actually saw Kirsty was on the stage at the top of the pay plan, the same as us. And had we just followed up that one more time, then she would have potentially been a part of our business. Now, don't get me wrong, we did do all right, and we're certainly not complaining. But at the same time, wouldn't it have been lovely for her to have been a part of that journey, and for us to have prospered together in that fashion? And only because we didn't open our mouth a sufficient number of times did that not occur. So the very worst thing I would ever want to happen for any of you is for you to walk into an opportunity presentation, to one of the training events, whether it's a field event or a corporate event, and see your best friend from school, the person who used to cut your hair, the milkman from where you lived 3 addresses ago, or whatever it might be. And then they have got started on this wonderful journey, which of course is still fantastic, but sadly not with you. So just bear that in mind. Okay, so I hope that's useful. What do you think, Steph?
Yeah, is that me? Yeah. Right, well,
So,
thank you everybody just for coming on here, and I'm actually really excited to be doing this. Our first big proper team Zoom call. So thank you everybody, and just watching all the excitement and everything that is going on. It is just absolutely, it's amazing and it's inspiring me, and I just think everybody really, really is amazing because they've came in and you've trusted us, you've trusted the products, and you've trusted the whole process, and even before you've had them. So it was just really to say thank you to everybody first, before I get stuck in. So for those of you who don't know me, I am Stephanie, and then I'm the sort of the first one into the Creative the Dream team. And but previously in my last company, I had created a business of around 2,000 people, and I did that all entirely online. I had been very, very ill, had a lot of brain surgeries and that. And if anybody ever says that they can't do this business because they don't know enough people, I'm your proof that you can build a business successfully on social media. And I did it mostly all from my home. So I've got a load of notes here to go through, but the most important thing when you are coming into your business, right, especially at now, is that you know exactly what journey that you're going to go on, that you have an idea of what your business is going to look like. And in effect, this is goals. You need to have a direction of where you're going to go. Now, this can be an earning goal, it can be a promotion goal, it can be goals for daily tasks to do each day for your business. How many people do you want to speak to? How many people would you like to buy your product in the first 30 days? Whatever it's going to look like, you need to basically map out your business and have an idea of where you're going to go. Because if you just sit down on, especially on Facebook, where it's very, very easy to just end up, talking the biggest load of rubbish. If you just sit down and just look at your inbox and then go, oh, why is nobody contacting me about my business? And you could chat to your friend about the weekend, chat to somebody else, about their kids' runny nose or whatever else, and then before you know it, 3 hours has passed and you're frustrated because nobody's bought anything, nobody's joined you, but realistically you haven't actually done anything for your business. So it's important that you have a destination and an idea laid out of what exactly your business is going to look like, what you're going to do, and when you're going to do it, and how you're going to do it. The thing with social media is that it really, really is a powerful, powerful tool. And obviously then there'll be people talking about other selling methods and shake parties and things like that, which is face to face. But with social media, what you're able to do then is you're able to connect with people that you can't actually get to, and your net can go a lot wider, a lot bigger, and it can create a lot more potential. And that for me is something that I love. And I love being able to just work on my phone, and I love that whole ease of that and that freedom of that. The big thing with working on social media, of course, is making sure that you don't go down the whole spammy route where you're posting up sales posts, because at the end of the day, nobody likes to be sold to, and people automatically, they just shut down, they don't respond. And it's just like you, if you're on Facebook and then somebody's trying to sell you something, immediately you're going to be, what is that? Just ignore that. And they're going to be the same with you. So always remember, just all your posts, they need to be directed more towards lifestyle, posts of value, mindset and motivation, and basically just showing your lifestyle through taking the products. But I'm going to cover all that a bit more. One of the biggest things is negativity. It just cannot exist anywhere on your social media. And even at times, I would even go as far as saying a lot of bad language as well can be really, really off-putting for people when you're running a business, because your Facebook profile basically in effect becomes your shop window. And if you can imagine, a restaurant or a nice shop, and if they had a load of curse words up in their window, or people slapping the face of each other, you're not going to want to go anywhere near that that business. So your Facebook is pretty much the same, and it can put off customers. It can even put off people that you actually physically know. They may know that you're a great person, but if they see a load of drama on your Facebook, they may then decide to go with a different associate. So that is just something really, really, really to think about. The next big thing is the kind of the fun thing is branding. And that is thinking about who you are with your business. Everybody can create their own business name, and that will help you then create a direction for your whole business, because you are not isogenics, you are you. And you're also, as you're going in through your business, you're going to be sharing other things. Maybe you'll want to go down the fitness route, maybe you'll want to go down the more healthy eating route, maybe it's going to be a yummy mummy, or please don't take that as thing, but you know what I mean. Whatever your branding is going to be, you can create a business name, go on to GoDaddy and buy the website for it, attach it to your Isogenics website, and start building on your brand. Make sure, very, very basic stuff, is your profile picture needs to always clearly be your face, right? People will do business with you, not your cat, your dog, your kids, or anything else. It needs to be your clear face. And especially if you're establishing yourself as a leader in the business, people need to be able to see who you are. And if they can't clearly pick you out in your profile picture, then they're just going to move on to the next one. Then your banner needs to be a motivational business quote. And you can get those just very, very simply just by going on to Google Images and typing in motivational business quote. It's that easy. Or sometimes you can do, success quotes, or, road to greatness quotes, things like that. And that's where I get a lot of mine from. And then obviously just crop it. So the main thing is knowing who is actually on your Facebook, because a lot of the time people that I usually find tend to have around 300 to maybe 700 people on their social media, but they maybe actually only interact with maybe 20 or 50. They interact with a very, very small number of people on their profile. And it's just, you could have a future Isogenics millionaire sitting in your friends list right now, but if you don't go and you're not connecting with them and you're not building on that relationship, that's never going to happen, is it? They're never going to get to contribute into your business. So you need to really look and see, who do you actually know, who do you actually have in your market. And even then within that, there will be a whole broad spectrum of people that from people that you used to work with, people you went to school with, friends of friends and acquaintances that aren't on your social media, that might really need these products, that could really do this business, but you haven't connected with them yet. So it's always worth a while of being really, really critical of your friends list and just thinking, who do you actually know, who is actually on here, and making sure you're going through and connecting with them. The other thing is that Facebook actually works on relationships. So you could have 3,000 people on your profile, but if you're not actually connecting and talking to 3,000 people, then those people aren't seeing your posts. And as the news feeds always move, I'm sure at some other point we'll do a training on Facebook algorithms, but just for this, it's you need to be connecting with people, you need to be liking on people's posts, and you need to be commenting on them. So in that way, then, instead of just sitting scrolling and constantly scrolling and working up a repetitive strain injury, like some posts, comment on things, send somebody a message, hey, how are you doing, and don't message Isogenics, just chat to people, because when you give people your time, they will give you their business, and that is how it works. People are not going to, the majority of people will not just buy off you just for the sake of it. It's because they want to connect with you, they want to support you, and they see the value of what you're giving. So always make sure that you're connecting with people about them and talk to them. If they're having any problems, listen to them. I have quite a lot of friends, that are on Facebook that I just sort of talk to and chat to, that may never actually be interested in buying these products or in the opportunity, but they will always refer me, because I have built up a relationship of trust with them, and they know that what I say is good. So that's something to always think about. The whole, the clues in the title, social media is social. You need to actually be talking to people. It's not enough to just put up a post and hope that it's going to attract 1,000 sales, because that's not going to happen. You need to be talking to people, building relationships, and moving forward that way. So one of the big things with building your business on social media is attraction marketing. And as we go on, this is something that you're going to hear about a lot, because what it is the art of attracting people to your business or products through your social media posts. And it's a skill that needs to be learned. Not everybody will be able to do it automatically, but it's fun. It's a way, think about your profile really realistically should look like a glossy magazine for your business. It needs to have your face. You need to be in there, you know, with your products or having fun with your team, having a meet up, you know, maybe check it out with a customer, post up some results, but also then like post the value. You always want to make sure that you have up posts on mindset, motivation, because a lot of the time people's Facebooks are usually filled with a lot of whingers and people who complain about this, that, and the other. And you can be there and be a little shiny light of motivational wonderfulness, and you know, that attracts them to you. And they might not jump immediately, but they sit and they watch, and people are always watching what you do, like even when you think they aren't. And every so often you'll get a message through from somebody who is, and it will completely shock you and surprise you that they have been watching you all along. But attraction marketing, I always usually find that in the mornings, especially like before you go to work, I usually do mine when I get up in the mornings. I just go and find a motivational business quote, but instead of just writing up, you know, love this, because that's just dry. Give it some value, put some words to it, relate it to you, relate it to your business, and you know, motivate people in the mornings, and then you're going to then stick in their mind, but they'll also then start getting used to come and look into your profile for these motivational quotes. Then in the afternoon, if you're around, what you can actually do is posts around the lifestyle. So if you're like me and you work from home and you're doing this full time, it could be posts on getting to work with your kids, spending time with the kids, or you know, freedom to go out and meet team at lunch times, or whatever it is it's going to do, something around the whole lifestyle, or maybe going to the gym or whatever it is. Then later on, maybe in the evenings, you might like to then think about something to do with your product. And now that is not a sales post, that is something of you recommending a product, or sharing a piece of knowledge on the product, or let me see, yeah. And sorry, I was just reading that comment there. And yeah, on the product, sorry, that threw me. That there was a picture on the, sorry, oh my goodness, what was I saying there? There's my head going. I need to stop reading them comments. Yeah, right. Yes, sorry. And then in the evening, what you can do then is a picture or a post on something to do with the team community, team culture, that will show people that have never done this kind of thing before, that we do have a team, that we have trainings, that there is a support network available. And because a lot of people who haven't done these things, they have a fear that they're going to be left on their own with no idea of what they're doing. And whereas if you're showing that, no, I actually belong to a team, we have trainings, we have meetups, we have Zoom calls or whatever else, then that can help them a bit. So that's just something really, really important to think about in your attraction marketing and posting there. So the big thing with Isogenics, then, it really, really is, because it is a healthy lifestyle, it really, really is about posting about the lifestyle. So as you start taking your products, and as you start going on your journey, and as you're starting to go on your lifestyle, just share it, right? It just has to be you. It has to be you living your life, having a wonderful time, and just sharing it. And this is how people build trust with you, and it's how they start to build relationships with you, when they actually see you living your life and you're sharing that bit with them, and it's not just somebody trying to sell something all the time. When you show them a little glimpse of your life, they start to trust you, and they start to see the real you, and that's what makes you approachable then as well, either for products or for business. Especially now that we're in health products, maybe if you have a person who is has weight issues, they may not feel comfortable just going to anybody to talk to about these issues or what their goals are going to be. So at least then, if they're already seeing that that you're a nice person, that you're living your life, and here's a bit of that, and they're starting to build a bit of relationship with you before they've even spoken to you, and it just makes it a lot easier. The big thing with Isagenix is the you share, they share. And that is something really that you just need to, learn it, live it, and love it. And again, as you're going through on your social media, just as you're loving your products, post about them on your social media and share them with people. Message people. Look through your newsfeed. If you're seeing somebody who's tired all the time, or somebody who's maybe going on holiday and saying that they want to lose weight, somebody who's just bought a gym membership, pay attention to what is going on, because that might be a perfect opportunity then for you to share the products and business. But when it comes to actually sharing the products, make sure that you're sharing the value rather than the price, because I know a lot of people can maybe feel a bit worried about maybe saying, right, this is what the price is for a 30-day pack, rather than saying at that. Share the value, show them what it's going to do for them. You're gonna lose weight, you're going to feel better, your hair and skin's going to be better. We've got natural stress relievers in there. It's going to strip your visceral fat. All of these things. Think of all the benefits. Have all the benefits in your head, and remember, always share the value of the product rather than the price, and that is where you're going to get more success. But one thing you can always remember to ask people is, what is going to be easier for you? Is it life as it is now, or is it our solution? So that's either going to be for the business or for the products. What's easier for you now? Is it life as it is broke, or is it coming and starting our business and earning a lot of money? What's going to be easier for you now? Is it life as it is now, overweight and tired, or is it going to be fit and healthy and full of energy? So always just remember what is going to be easier for them, because this whole business is about serving people, customers, and then your team members as well. It's about finding out, how you can help them. So just thinking about the right words, sharing the value, and asking them what's going to be easier for them. Choose your heart. That is really, where you're going to start to get your success. So, sorry, I can't talk as much as Darius in one breath. What you can do would be to move your business forward and work your business is working your 100 list, and this is like a massive thing in network marketing. And you can actually go on to Google, and if you search, or else we'll post a link in the team page later on, the network marketing memory jogger, and that's by Eric Worre. And that is basically just create a list of 100 people that you know in your life, and you can maybe message them through just with saying something like, hey, it's Steph, I'm reaching out to you because I've started a new business and I immediately thought of you, and I know it might not be the perfect time for you right now, but if you would like to take a look, it might be, and I would love to work with you. Can I add you? Always ask, can you add them? And then we have a team page then of the ISA lifestyle. And what you can then do is, and what that's going to do is work as like a shop window. And there's different posts of value in there, and then you can add them in there. And then afterwards, then the important thing is that you get in contact with them, call them up, build that relationship, see what did they think of the posts, did they watch any of the videos, did they read any of the posts, and really just follow up with them and build on that relationship. Because a lot of the time, people are going to ask, right, well, tell me more about it. What kind of information have you got, right? And rather than sending them a million messages back and forward, or rather than sending them bullet points, or and then losing them, at least then you have this tool, and this is a tool that they use throughout the whole company. So that's the accepted Isagenix format. With this, the more people that see your opportunity, the more your business is going to grow. Okay, you need to be proactive in speaking to people, and also then constantly expanding your list of people. And this can also be on your social media. How are you getting in front of new people? as you are doing your attraction marketing and you're doing posts of value, a lot of the time you will find that people will be tagged in your posts, right? I always send them friend requests immediately. First of all, to make sure that they are seeing that post that their friend has tagged them in, but also them, it's expanding my market, that there is a new contact then. And if you actually go onto Facebook from a desktop, you can go in and click friends, and then you can click on the recently added, and then that'll give you a list of all the people that you have recently added on Facebook. And then you just go through, click on their profiles, and like a couple of pictures, and start to connect with them. And that is that's just makes life a lot easier. I remember before they had that. So as you are working your list and you are expanding it and you're starting to get your team members, you need to think, what are you actually going to do with them? Okay, because the first 48 hours with any new associate or customer is crucial. You need to have a plan of what you're going to do. One of the biggest things really is everybody needs to go on to the isogenicsbusiness.com and watch the videos in there. There's videos in there with training that will basically get anybody started. There's a 90-day run booklet in there. There's the team pages. There's a lot. But you have an idea of what the first 48 hours is going to look like for an associate, maybe the first week and definitely the first month. So you can then have a plan, because if you want to create duplication, which is where you're going to get your residual income, you need to have a plan. And that is something then that you can create now, and stepping up as a leader. Really, the whole thing in this business, it's just a case of there's certain skills and you just need to learn them and then own them. But always remember that masters start with disasters and nobody starts perfect. So don't be panicking. If you're just hearing this and then thinking, oh, I don't have anything set up, don't be worrying, because we've only just started. I think really in saying that, the main thing is that you really do have an unshakable belief in yourself, your products, and your business. And when you have that, you will have a lot of confidence. But also then, when you believe in your products, and because you've maybe taken a bit of time to learn a bit about them, you're not just copying and pasting Facebook posts. It gives you the confidence then when you're speaking to people. It comes across when you're talking to people, whether in messages or on the phone. And it really, really, really is important that you have that knowledge and that kind of presence. With this, what I would definitely suggest, and it was something that I had suggested to the other leaders, was maybe that we started like a book club, which maybe sounds a bit boring, but with this business, we all need to learn. We need to read books, right? We have to learn. It is a profession that we need to master. And even if you were only reading 10 pages a day, your business is going to grow, your knowledge is going to grow, your confidence is going to grow, and it's just really, really going to push you to the forefront. Always make sure that you are coachable, right? Nobody knows everything. Even the likes of Eric Worre, he has a personal development budget, and because he's committed himself to always learning. So there is nobody who knows it all. And what's right for one person isn't necessarily right for another. And you always have to be aware that when you bring people into your business, especially when you're on social media, because you will then attract people that you don't necessarily know, people that maybe don't come from your background or social connections. You need to talk to people, and a lot of times train them in a way that suits them and their personality. And maybe at some point Darius will do a training on the 4 color personalities. But you just always have to take that into consideration, that when you come into social media, that's one of the things that I love about building a business on social media, is you will meet so many people, so many different types of people. But when you bring them into your business, you need to be aware that when you are coaching people, you do it at their rate, their level, and not yours, okay? Because it's different courses for different horses. Always make sure that you are interacting on the team pages, okay? If you don't interact on the team pages, after a while, then you just don't get the notifications. But if you are building a team and you're building a business, it's important for you as a leader to be seen in the team and to be seen showing up on posts, showing up and contributing as well to the whole the overall team, because it's not just about me, Mags, Jackie and Jenny. It's about all of us together. We're all creating this together. We're all one team. We're all working together. We're all creating the one success. So get in there, be a part of it. If you find something or something's really working for you, share it, and in the whole page. The other thing is, if you see any team members who are doing up posts about their business, give it a like, support them, say, comment, whatever it is. But on that, I would actually say it's really important. Never write under another associate's post, can I use this? Can I share this? Can I pitch this? Or anything like that, because that is their business. And that is their post, and it's really unprofessional if you write anything like that on their posts. Make sure on your posts, if you can, do use the hashtag #IceTheDreamTeam, because what that does then is that will it steps up the branding of this whole team, but it also then shows a lot of people that you belong to something bigger than just a small team, and that in itself can be very, very attractive for customers and for team members. So really, really make sure that, especially within social media, that you are creating a team culture, and again, commenting, getting in there in all the groups, but also then taking it out, arranging meetups with other associates in your local area, or maybe arranging Zooms then for those who can't. Whatever it is, just create a team culture, build relationships with your team members, and just do your best there. Because we have to remember that every single one of us is selling the same thing. We're all selling the same products. We're all selling these. But what is different is you, the value you bring, and the branding that you bring. So sit down and think about what your business is going to look like, what makes you different from anybody else, and what can you offer, and then just be accountable for your own success. And it's Darius Ward that says to divorce your upline. You are responsible for your business and nobody else. And in my last business, I had no upline support at all, and I actually had just come out of a coma when I started, and I had to find out everything for myself, and I think that was a massive part of my success, because I didn't have anybody to rely on for the answers. I didn't have anybody giving me anything, and with this it's the same. So be accountable for your own success, rather than asking a question, go and look for the answer, because on the way to finding the answer, you're maybe going to answer 10 future questions. And then, because realistically, if you're on this call, you're stepping up and you're saying that you're working your business, you're going to be a leader. Some of you are leaders, but you need to know where to find the answers to different questions and that. So be accountable for your own success, and always be prepared to know where to go and find the answers to things. Always try and network on purpose, and that is intentionally look for people to share your products and your business with. Now, that can be going into Facebook groups and making new friends. It can be maybe even going to the gym and then connecting with the people that you're chatting to in there, or going out for lunch and if you have a waitress who comes in and she gives you amazing service, tell her that, thank her for amazing service. Say, you'd be great in my business. Can I add you on Facebook? Or do you want to add me on Facebook? Without sound creepy. Intentionally network on purpose, because if you're doing your attraction marketing and your profile is really amazing, you want to get people on there to see that. It's not a secret and you don't want to hide it. So make sure that is always growing, but always just remember that when you are approaching people, especially on social media, go for the no. Don't be afraid of no, because a lot of people sometimes have this emotional attachment to the response of messages, and you need to sever that emotional attachment. It doesn't matter if people say no. It doesn't matter if they don't reply, and it doesn't matter if they don't come along. that is still a seed that has been sown for your business, and it still goes in regardless of whether they actually replied or said yes. It still sits there until the time suits them, because it's not always about you. And a lot of the time I think we have to remember that we can put a lot of expectation when we post, that we then expect other people to then jump, right, I'm going to go buy that right now, I'm going to join this business right now. But we have to remember, it might not be their time yet, and it might not be the right time for them at all. But 1 week, 1 month, 3 months, 6 months, a year, 2 years, whatever, it might be the right time, and they will come back. But they will always remember that you're there, you're doing it, and you've already approached them. Always be yourself, okay? Just be true, and be passionate, get excited about your business. I know we are all absolutely buzzing anyway, and be confident. And when you're speaking with people, not in an arrogant way, but almost like expect that they are going to join. Speak with the confidence and the passion of your products, that they are going to join, that they are going to buy, and reassure them of anything they have. Use the tools that are out there. isamovie.com is out there. Use the Isa lifestyle page that we're setting up. But most of all, tell your story. Right now, what you're doing with your business is you are creating your story, and that is going to go a long way, because when you're speaking to potential people, they're going to say, well, what has it done for you? So think right now, what has Isagenix done for you right now? And if you don't have an answer, you need to get one, and then work on making it the most amazing story ever. And that is really, really where it helps them connect with you, when you can show them the success that it's had with you. And that can either be through your health and weight loss or whatever, or muscles or whatever, or it could then also be then your business. So whatever your story is, and again that'll link into your goals, whatever your story is, make it a bloody amazing one, and just really, really, really go for it. With everything, the fortune is in the follow-up, as Darius just pointed out. One of, I don't have my book here. What I have is, I'm old school. I have a journal, a book, and I just have everybody's names written down in a list that I have spoken to. And then I have columns written down, and then at the top I have C for call, I have V for video, and then F for follow-up, and then a couple more lines in case I follow up with them a couple of times, and then I'm just checking those off as I go along. But that there then basically is an active working list, and that is something then that you can do. Have a bit of organisation, have some direction in your business, because I can tell you, see, when I first started into my last business, I didn't have these things, and I thought that I could just use my Facebook inbox like an email system, and I could just leave messages in there that I needed to follow up on. And I will tell you now that right now, nobody would ever manage to scroll to the bottom of my Facebook inbox, because there's millions and millions and millions of messages in there. And I did lose out on presenters joining in under me in my last company because I didn't follow up, and it was because I just didn't know. So now you guys all know. Use a follow-up system, whether it's a book, whether it's Excel, whatever it is. Make sure that you have a follow-up system. And mine at the minute, what I'm doing is I'm just using the videos that I'm using are actually the Why Isagenix video that you can find on YouTube. I think it's brilliant, and I've had quite a lot of success with it. So the why you just type Why Isagenix into YouTube, and also then the video of the American lady doing the compensation plan. And I'm just pre-warning people that they may find her a little annoying. But I point out that she's full of energy, and that's because of the products. So those are the videos that I'm sort of sending to people over social media, and they're having great success. But over everything, really, it has to be your determination. And a lot of the times people need to be realistic about their problems, and they need to be realistic about their time. It really you can be very determined to do this, but you can get distracted with all the noise that's going on and all the excitement, and then chatting to people about that and not actually doing anything. Be determined. Have a list every day of what you're going to do any day. How many people are you going to speak to? Checking in with your team. What posts are you going to do? keeping on top of your, tracking your progress with your products. The other thing then is, as you start to take your products, you could do daily pictures, put them together onto a slideshow in like Viva Video or iMovie, any of these things, and make wonderful transformation pictures then that are going to be great for sharing on social media. Because imagine if you had a Facebook business page, you had an amazing transformation, and you were able to then post that on your page and it went viral. That would be great. That would be sending a lot of people to you, and that is the potential with this. So that is really me done. I don't really think I have anything else more to say to that, rather than just, you know what, guys, just go for it. Just absolutely go for it. So there you go, Darius. I'm gonna have a drink now.
Wowee. Wow. I don't even know where to start with that, Steph. That was thorough, comprehensive, expertly crafted. It was absolutely phenomenal. Thank you so much for sharing that with us.
No problem.
I have no fear or hesitation in saying I picked up a few things myself there.
Oh, I doubt that.
It's true. It's a true story. Thank you so very much. So I am going to open it up in the next 20 or 30 seconds for anyone who may wish to ask a question. We certainly covered a great deal of content there, just my little 5 or 10 minutes or so at the beginning. And then obviously Steph's really fantastic talk and presentation there. Really just naturally tripping off the tongue. You can tell that she not only talks the talk, but also walks the walk too. So you're getting lots of great feedback. I'm sure you can see there on the chat, Steph. Did anyone have any questions that were coming to mind? Perhaps people are a bit maybe in overload. I see that Sally has stuck her hand up. Did you want something, Sally, or not? No, she's shaking her head. Okay, that's fine. The moment's obviously passed. I missed my chance. Okay. So just want to make one small announcement then, if I may. Once more, thank you everyone for attending this evening. We are going to be back again tomorrow with another amazing speaker. Hopefully, I might even be able to get the gerbils to go a little bit faster on the internet connection. And then I'll not be doing an impression of an 80s dancing robot on the screen. So miracles and wonders will never cease. So thank you. And then, of course, the greatest thanks on this occasion do go to Steph McKittrick, who I was going to introduce you, Steph, more formally, but I couldn't even hold you back. You were so keen and eager. Just to say that Steph is obviously a wonderful leader here within the Platinum and Exec Group, a really valued member, someone who has contributed greatly, not only obviously to the volume, to the structure of the business, but also to the structure in which it's operated, and is certainly going to continue playing that valued role moving forward. And just to give you an idea of the pedigree that we're talking about here, not only did Steph, do you have about 1,200 people in your last downline, was it, Steph?
Have I got what?
There's about 1,200 in your last downline, was it?
No, 2,000.
Oh, 2,000. I do apologise. So more than 2,000. Please forgive me. I've just made 600 people, 700 people disappear off the face of the earth. I do apologise. So more than 2,000. Not only that, you're well on your way to that number already. I can see the figures are growing daily. And not only that, you qualified as a 1-star crystal manager. Is that right so far?
Woo! Yes. Yay!
So a really fantastic achievement, and I have a very sneaky suspicion that in the next 24 hours or so, that will also be a 1-star or more crystal director. Is that right, Steph?
Yes, within 24 hours for sure.
Absolutely fantastic. So it's not actually been made official yet, but just while Steph was checking over a few things, actually I was very fortunate to have some quite excellent news. Whilst I've taken my eye away for the first time this evening, I've actually been informed that I myself have achieved 3-star Golden Circle executive.
Oh wow! Oh here! Oh Darius, well done! Yeah. Are you the first? No, what number are you then in the UK?
Well, I don't know. They'll find out at the end of the week. So, like I say, it's all in the running. So,
oh wow! Well done.
So that's really exciting. So just before we do go, I'm just clicking buttons frantically now. So I'm going to mute everyone. If anyone has any questions, feel free to ask them now.
Congratulations, Stephanie.
Double D.
Yay, well done. Woohoo!
Thank you.
Well done to you too, Stephanie.
All right, thank you.
Huge well done. Can I ask a question about algorithms? I can't even say it.
Yes.
No, just, can you tell me a bit about them?
Algorithms is just the times to post on Facebook. Different people see different things at different times. Like, it's basically the best time to post on Facebook. So usually it'll be like between 8 and 9 o'clock in the morning, and everybody has to get to bed. It's a whole other training on its own. But in a nutshell, it's the right time to post on Facebook, so you're getting the maximum exposure for your posts.
Okay, thanks.
I must be doing something right. I'm getting approached by strangers now.
What are you saying, Fiona?
I saying I must be doing something right. I'm getting approached by strangers now.
Oh, right, is that a good thing? I assume you mean that in a professional manner.
Yeah. Private mail in.
Excellent, yeah. Well, when they start calling to you, you certainly know that you're doing something right, don't you?
Definitely.
Okay, are there any other questions? Not all for now. Well, we've kept just about an hour now, so at least we started somewhere near on time, and at least
Thank you, Steph.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you. Good night.
So we'll see you again this time tomorrow night. I look forward to it. Speak to you all soon. Bye.
Bye.
Well done.